Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, another brand new day. Another brand new day on this, the planet Earth. Another brand new day in this, the material universe. Another brand new day. Thumbs up for that. Now, if you're from a non-material sort of space or universe and you've come to visit, welcome. Things are pretty different around actual matter, so be careful. But thumbs up and welcome to the day. For the Shelton, Washington quick weather report, yesterday it was pretty sunny, and I walked off to the hospital and walked back, and it was sunny. And right now it may be sunny, I'm not exactly sure because I live in southern Shelton and it's hard to tell in the morning because there's a forest in our backyard. So through the trees it looks bright. Yay, it looks like it's going to be a good day. Definitely a good thing. The day prior, I had walked to the hospital to try and get a blood draw, and that didn't work. But yesterday, I walked to the hospital, and I actually got my blood draw. Walked in, the registration was pretty quick. The wait was, no fun, but afterward, it was fast, and then out and back. And then I had a lot of trouble staying awake after that and kept falling asleep during the afternoon and then fell asleep at night. Didn't go walkies that night, but went 5 miles, when I went to get my blood draw. So, life is life, though. I don't like the way I fall asleep, of course, because when I fall asleep in my chair, that's bad. I have sleep apnea, and there's 2 types of sleep apnea. There's central, and there is obstructive. Obstructive is what most people have. It's the soft tissues in your throat fall inward, just collapse, and that blocks your airway, and you can't breathe. That's what most people have when they snore. That's obstructive apnea. I have central apnea. That is literally where your brain just forgets to tell your lungs to breathe. And there's no blockage, but you just stop. And then you stop breathing anywhere from 10 seconds to over a minute. And then your brain suddenly goes, why are we? Oh, that's breathe. And then you do. But that causes a lot of stress on your heart and lungs and your brain. So it's not good. And my head was ringing like a bell a couple times, which means, I stopped breathing pretty good for a while. Life is life, though. So, joy. If you have apnea or suspect that you have sleep apnea, please get that checked out. Now, you'll find out if, people tell you that you're snoring or if you're sweating a lot while you sleep. For decades, I used to sweat heavily when I slept. Excuse me. Was never sure why. As soon as I discovered I had sleep apnea and got a sleep apnea machine, which is just a mask that pumps air into your face so that when you stop breathing, there's still circulating air. Once I did that, stopped sweating instantly. So if you've got anything like that, if you snore, if you sweat when you sleep, go check with your doctor and do what you got to do. It's better than having a heart attack or a stroke. Now, for the rest of the stuff over to the side, I do not have a lot written down. One of the things that I'm just going to say real fast is today is April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I have never been a fan of April Fool's Day. Where I am on the spectrum, it bothers me. I don't like it at all. I've hated it my whole life, and I hate it even now. I know there is a science fiction /horror writer that I follow on Facebook, and he talked about it, and there are 2 kinds of pranks that get done. There is the malicious, make someone feel foolish prank, and then there is the kind of prank, where people will do the flash mob dances, or the stuff where it's a prank, it's making, there's something weird happening, but it's not targeting someone to make them feel silly or bad. And that's okay, but they still bother me. So I've never been a fan of it. I was pretty glad last year when it was largely canceled because of everything that's still going on in the United States big time. I do not know why my voice box is so clogged up. My sincere apologies. But there's been a couple YouTube videos so far that are just YouTube pranks, and I hate that. So life is life. Anyway, though, on to the side. There are a couple things, actually. One of them, maybe a couple weeks back, I had said that in a movie of Godzilla versus King Kong, my view on it was pretty basic. You know, Kong is a giant gorilla and cannot withstand nuclear fire. But I have watched a couple videos explaining some further things and extrapolating on others, and now I can kind of get behind it, because some of the movies that have been made in the past have sort of retconned things where instead of just being a giant gorilla, which the Peter Jackson one was more of it's just a giant gorilla movie, but others have been of the Kong and others are titans, old gods, remnants, something very ancient, very old, very powerful, last few, but they're defenders of some such thing. That I can get behind. That I can handle. And especially with what has apparently been coming up in the story of the movie where, Godzilla, nasty and vicious and, cosmic horror-y in that it's a big thing you can't do a thing about, and there is mass destruction with little or no regard for human life or safety, but Godzilla's still a protector. And so, a titan, a good thing. And so I can handle that, and there's stuff going on. There's stuff going on. I'm more behind it now than I've ever been before. As long as they treat Kong as something more than just a giant ape, because that's, cube square law. It doesn't make sense. A gorilla couldn't be that big. If it's just a giant gorilla story, then it's ridiculous. If it's a Kong is one of the remnants of the Titans, one of the last old things, then yeah, I can get behind that. I like to think of myself as a rationalist. I like to look at stories with logic, and that's why I spend a lot of time on my stuff that has any horror or supernatural stuff, because it has to make sense. If it doesn't, if it's just, because it's this way, then it has to fit. It has to work. There has to be logic behind it, even if it's logic that we can't follow as human beings. So yeah, thumbs up on that. I sort of want to see it now, but then there's like I would tear out my voice box and replace it with a new one right now if I could. If there was a way that I could go back and see all of the Godzilla movies, like all of them, I would. But if I could see at least the ones from the year 2000 onward, that would be good. Because, hey, violence and destruction. Also, one of the big things that I've been thinking of here, and on and off for a long time, and I've talked about it before, but I want to talk about it again, because now with all these YouTube Shorts things, and then there's a fellow called the Spiffing Brit who said they are extremely popular, but the best way to do it is you need a new channel. Start fresh that way. If you mix them onto your main channel, it's not as effective. But there was a thing from a magazine called National Lampoon back in the late 80s, early 90s, sometime around that period, where in the back of it they had joke stuff. And for a short period of time, they had a small section where they did an exploratory. They were throwing stuff at the wall, and it was a hard to get joke. And it is literally just a joke, a regular joke, like a dad joke, and made hard to get. But if you listen to what it is, the first line of this one joke, I still remember it after all these decades. I don't remember the full thing, but I remember the first line. Because the regular line of the joke is, a man walks into a bar and takes a stool next to a stranger. Hard to get joke is, A man walks into Babar and takes his cool necks to a strain jar. Hard to get because the words aren't right. And if you listen to it that way, it doesn't have to be an English sentence. It just has to sound like an English sentence because it has actual English words and names in it. As long as it fulfills that requirement, then it's good. Amelia, no. She's been stuck on it these past couple days, like the past week, with, once again, in and out every 5 minutes. It just has to fulfill the requirement of looking and sounding like English, and it has to rhyme with the words. You know, a man walks into a bar, Iman, which was, David Bowie's widow. She's a model, she's got a life and career and stuff. But Iman walks into Babar. The sentence doesn't have to make sense. It just has to sound like a sentence. So I had been thinking, well, I could do a shorts thing where they're hard to get jokes. Where somebody sent me a book of jokes, so I've got the book. I just take these jokes, hard to get them, and then make a little short about that. And the thing is, though, I know they wouldn't go anywhere. I appear to be constitutionally unable to do normal things in a creative fashion. I have struggled to express my creativity my whole life. Not just in writing, which is, once again, a hard enough thing to do, but even in writing, I don't want to do normal things. I have done various things through my life where I've expressed my creativity, and it's not normal stuff. I mean, it's not, too outre and bizarre and all that, but it's not stuff that someone would go, yeah, that's a good idea to do. So, I mean, here it's like I've come up with, hey, there's the hard to get jokes, and I already have a series of stuff periodically where I do pronunciation guides of how to pronounce words. Only the pronunciation guides are all wrong. Like the word might be pain, but the pronunciation is pleasure. And then there's the song mutilations, where I take the lyrics for popular songs, translate them, I don't know how many times through Google Translate, take the resulting nightmare, work with that to find the theme inside, and then present that as a spoken word poem. I do not know how to do normal creative things. So, thumbs up for that. I mean, it's good, it's fine. It's just I'm struggling to find a way to monetize my creativity, and I have no ideas how. So, yeah. But I am working on trying to download and then relearn how to use the latest OBS Streamlabs so that, yes, I can start streaming on Twitch. First, I have to discover if my Twitch account still exists. A couple years back, I had actually gotten onto the, not partnership, but you had to do X number of streams and X number of time to get into the next step of the way, and I had done that. But it's been a very long time since I've streamed, so I don't know if, as stated, I even have an account anymore. So I'll be checking it out, and then hopefully we'll be starting that up real soon. I'm going to be either playing, just PC stuff or streaming off of the consoles, and then we're just going to be talking and yakking and doing stuff and hopefully just having fun, being chill, having time, relaxing. It's a good thing. And it is. And I have therapy today, so I'm kind of in a rush, but everything has been... I woke up at 5:30. Before I could blink, it was 6 o'clock. It was 6:30, and I was still in my it's 5:35 stage. So 7 o'clock when I started recording, I was just, I'm so behind. And I am. I'm mega behind. And I've got therapy at 9 o'clock. And then I've got to try and get some recording done for the second half of the day. Because even though I may not make a lot of money on my YouTube videos, in fact, as stated yesterday, I made so little money I didn't even get paid the month before. Making videos gives me form and structure to an otherwise formless and structureless life, and that is important. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment, or however many people have left comments if there's less than 25. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterwards. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. Thumbs up for that. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker. And even though I count an American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, mourning, ADHD, and more, I'm sometimes lucky I can remember what my own name is. So we have All About Casty, thumbs up and thank you. There is Vasil Wilcox, I sure hope I'm at least close. Lively Luffy, thumbs up. Pog, greatly appreciated. We have Richard W, thumbs up, and yesterday, or 14 hours ago, was their 80th birthday, so thumbs up. Grim Reaper, oh, that's a good timing there. Thumbs up and thank you. It's Not Ollie, thumbs up. Beefcake KFC, thumbs up, and I like the name. Ricky Bettini with the daily reminder to live each day to its fullest, and I certainly hope that your life has gotten a little bit better there. There is Colin Reisner, thumbs up and thank you. I hope I'm at Nando Rice Cheruti, thumbs up. And are you, I have a Fernando Rice as a Facebook friend. Are you the same person? Jeremiah Romero, thumbs up. There is Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. And that is it. What was it, 12 people left comments? I sort of lost count. I have no ideas what the real number was. So thumbs up. I was counting though, even though I was no idea where I really was. So when I hit this number, especially 9, I don't know if that was actually 9 or if I was just losing track. Thumbs up for that. And if you can check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you'd like to help me out financially without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well that I have to update. So it has Reptisand and hamster food and hamster bedding and cat food and silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes, and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest, so thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. Thank you very, very much. And of course, the Horsehead of Encouragement has nothing but goodwill and wishes for each and every one of us. And even though it wears the grand and powerful lobster hat, it still wants nothing but the best for all of us. We have the potential to be angels or demons. And while it wishes we have that we would become angels, it is up to us. And of course, Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly. And during these hard times, try your best to be as safe and creative as possible. It is a good thing. So, if you don't have to go out, please don't go out. If you do go out, please wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, maintain your social distancing. We can get past this, we can get through this. I can't speak English today. We can get through this. It just takes time and a little bit of work. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.